This episode of the Sensibly Cynical podcast is in part sponsored by the Greener Grass podcast, featuring two best friends that bring in humor and personal stories as they weigh the pros and cons of random topics, asking the question, what would you rather? If you want to start your week off with some laughs, check out new episodes every Monday on all major podcast platforms. Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of the Sensibly Cynical podcast. My name, of course, is Sean. I am so excited today. Shortly, I will be joined by Mr. Clint Woolsey. He is the lead vocalist and guitarist from the country rock band Stone Senate. This 5-piece band infuses hard rock, bluegrass, funk, metal, and classic country into an amazing sound that is unique and is incredible. Their latest single, Slow Crusade, is available now. Enjoy my interview with Mr. Clint Woolsey. And joining me now, he is a guitarist and the lead vocalist of the band Stone Senate. Clint Woolsey, what's going on?
Hey, how are you, brother?
Dual sad, it's always good in life, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
Right, so it's a 5-piece group, right? There's 5 of you?
Yeah, it's a 5-piece group. It's the drums and the bass player are brothers. David Zettler on drums and Paul Zettler on bass, and then we got 2 other guitar players that handle most of the lead stuff. They kind of get that dueling lead thing going. James Edwards on one guitar and Ted Hennington on the other. Is
it southern rock, country rock, the band? I know you guys do like 5 different types of genres, I guess, in one set. Like, explain it, the dynamic.
Yeah, it was kind of wild, man. We never really set out to be like southern rock, but because most of the band, besides the other 4 guys, besides myself, they're all from Meridian, Mississippi, and I'm from Nashville, and so we were just playing what we considered, like kind of classic rockish kind of stuff, with some older country influence, I guess, the classic country influence. And then so people started calling us Southern rock, I think because we were all from the South, but, and then when we were trying to establish exactly what we were to try and promote this new record, we were kind of saying Southern rock, and then we were told that the new bands that are doing Southern rock are considered country rock now. Right.
What I looked up it said hard rock, bluegrass, funk, metal, and classic country. That seems like my type of band. So I was like, it's all about it.
Yeah.
It's like all about it, man. What's the origin story?
Well, the bass player and I started the band back in 2008 here in Nashville with some other guys, and just over the years, we slowly added each of the current members in, and so like I said, the drummer and the bass player are brothers, and James, one of the lead guitar players, he grew up with the drummer and the bass player, so they already knew each other, and the 3 of them also knew our other lead guitar player from another band back in the day and stuff, and so it all kind of just fell together perfectly, man, because we all play really well together, and it's we're little family, man. So it was cool how it all kind of worked out like that,
So talk about Star City. Was that your first album, EP, or what was that?
Star City was our second EP.
Okay.
We did Star City with a guy named Kenny Olson who played lead guitar with Kid Rock and a few other folks. He produced it with us. And I guess that was a few years ago. But yeah, we did, I guess, 6 songs on that one, all original songs and stuff. And the thing with that record, man, we've been playing all that stuff live for a few years before that, and we've been always kind of hit the road as hard as we possibly could, So, but we did that record really, really quickly. Really cool, man, to work with Kenny Olson. He's a great guy, but he's an unbelievable guitar player. So it was really cool, man. It was quite the experience, I have to say,
Yeah, the song that stuck out to me actually was Martha. I saw the video. That's pretty cool. You took, what was it, road footage? Talk about how that was produced.
Yeah, actually, James, one of our guitar players, he always is taking pictures and video and stuff. And, just because we didn't have much of a budget really back then, he just used a bunch of the footage he had, and he had some kind of editing program. He's not real technical, but man, it came out really cool, and we get a lot of compliments on it.
Really cool. So when did you, I guess, realize that, oh yeah, we have a good dynamic here? Was it immediately? Like, was it just off the bat?
Pretty much was immediately, just because they had all played together for a few years and they'd grown up together, everything just fit right in, and it was almost immediate, man, that we felt like we had something real cool, real special, you know what I mean, that we could finally try and do something good with. We'd all been trying to be, to have a successful music career for years
right.
and years, and when this group of guys finally got together, it really felt like we were going to be able to do that,
This was after all this digital media, right? So did you actually have CDs then?
Man, it was CDs. We didn't really have much of a streaming presence, and so yeah, we just sell them on the road and stuff, and then sell them through our website and all that stuff, and went through a few thousand copies out on the road.
Really?
Yeah, man, and so it was really cool, man. We got a lot for the grassroots kind of promotion that we were doing, man. It worked out really well,
Yeah, I see you guys have a good presence on Spotify.
We have a great team that we're working with management, promotion, and the record label and stuff, and so man, they really helped us market it and get our streams up.
It's all about streams, man. That's it.
Know it, man. Learning something about it every day, The streaming world is really cool, though, man, because I never realized it until recently that, even if you don't have much of a budget to work with, man, if you can get your stuff on one of the streaming sites and then try and just promote it however you can, man, you can reach tons of people. That crazy internet thing, I guess.
Yeah, so talk about influences. I saw on there that Lynyrd Skynyrd is one of them. Is that true?
Yeah, man. We're all, big Skynyrd fans, and the Allman Brothers Band, of course. Along with Merle Haggard and Waylon Jennings and some of the classic stuff like that. But yeah, definitely big Skynyrd fans, man. Those guys really had something special going,
I know you briefly mentioned, success financially. Was it like, I know you guys had a good vibe, obviously, from the start, but what about financially? Were you guys just, was that from the start, or did that take a while to get going?
It took a while, man. I guess the original game plan was to, tour as much as humanly possible. So we took, every gig that was offered to us. And no matter what the pay was, some a lot better than others, and so that was kind of our way to try and get noticed and discovered, I guess, and to
right.
try and work our way up to getting a deal with a label, and it took several years, but it finally paid off for us and stuff, but we cross country multiple times and stuff, and. I mean, it was one hell of a good time, but just didn't make a whole lot of money,
Some of y'all must have had good bar tabs, This isn't nowadays where you pick the Visa thing and you put it to the scanner,
I know it, right? I think we picked bar tabs and with some loose change and stuff.
I know we talked about Star City. What are the other ones that you've done, other EPs?
The first EP we did was just titled just One, and that was back in 2005, 14 or early 15. And that was just a 6 EP we did with a guy named Vance Powell and a guy named Eddie Spear up here in Nashville. And that was really cool. And again, kind of like Star City, that first EP, we had been playing that stuff for so long live, that we just went in there and busted it out in like 5 days. The whole thing was recorded, mixed, and mastered and done, and that actually had a few of the former band members on it and stuff. But it's, man, I love that record, and we still play everything from the first EP and Star City. We play it all live, still, and so it's some cool stuff,
Yeah. We briefly mentioned being on the road. You got any funny stories to share?
Man, well, there's a lot of, I guess, funny stories from people getting drunk and passing out or whatever. You got to carry them out of the bar, to, we were out in California, and I guess we just weren't used to some of the way people are out there, and we got called rednecks and what have you, the first couple of days out there, which we are, I guess, but it ended up being a great trip and stuff, and we're all big history buffs, and so anytime we're going out, we always try and see whatever sites we can, from Mount Rushmore to really the kids' gravesite, to anything and stuff. So we try and make it an eventful adventure, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. So, you got any pranksters? There's a prankster?
Yeah, there's a couple pranksters. Our bass player always passes out first, and we have Sharpies handy to draw little pictures and messages on him.
Hello, everybody. Let me tell you about this amazing gaming channel on YouTube from my friend Tyson Sainer, who was on the podcast once before as we went over the history of Jackass. In his channel, conveniently titled Tyson Sainer Gamer, he revisits old classic video games in a comedic yet insightful manner that is a must see for any and all gamers. So, once again, that is Tyson Sainer Gamer on YouTube. Now, back to my interview with Clint Woolsey of Stone Senate. Yeah, so talk about this single, Slow Crusade.
See, this is the second single. We did a new record of 13 songs about midway through last year, through the pandemic there, and this one's it's mellow, and it's a true story, lyrically and stuff. I'd gone through a divorce, and I had my little pup passed away suddenly and stuff, and so I kind of just was it was almost therapeutic, man, writing it, and so and it was actually, I wrote it the night before our first rehearsal for pre-production to do this new record stuff, and so we put it together really quickly, and it was a little different for it, because we normally try and stay more on the rockin' side of things, but this came out really cool, man, and this new record's going to be really cool, man. There's some real kind of psychedelic kind of stuff on there, and then there's some real rockin' stuff and everything kind of in between,
Yeah, man. So some of the lyrics kind of spoke to me, man. Like, finally found strength to talk, and and it really speaks to me, Slow Crusade, of myself. Is that what, I don't want to get the lyric wrong, but.
Yeah, it's a slow crusade against myself.
Against myself, okay, yeah.
It's just kind of like, I kind of just go through shit, you know what I mean? And you just try to figure out how to deal with it, I guess. Which is, there's a line in there like fix some pictures on the wall, because you kind of just, at one point, I thought I was going to have to go to rehab. I was drinking so much, and it's just one of them things, man. But I just trying to deal with the loss and stuff like that.
Yeah, like depressants. They're depressants for a reason.
Oh, for sure, man, for sure. But yeah, it was cool, man. Like I said, it was kind of therapeutic, man, writing that song. It honestly really helped me out a whole lot, man. Changed my whole outlook.
Well, I'm happy to hear it, man. So where did you grow up at again? You said Nashville, right? You're from Nashville?
Yeah, I grew up here in Nashville.
What was your experience like growing up?
It was great, dude. They call it Music City. I mean, they ain't lying, man, because it's all kinds of music. Obviously a lot of country and bluegrass and stuff, but all through high school and after that, man, I was playing in mostly different rock and roll bands. Then I joined in with a cover band for a few years, and then went back to an original rock band and stuff. And so, but here in Nashville, man, you can find metal, hip hop, all kinds of stuff. So it's really, it was cool, man. There's a ton of players here, so it wasn't hard to find other folks to play music with, and it's just, it was overall great, man. I love this town.
I spoke to a country singer not too long ago. I just wanted to get your opinion on what he said. There's something he said that kind of stuck to me, and I just wanted to see if you agree or whatever. So he said that his name is Michael Ken. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I've heard that name, man.
Okay, yeah, and I spoke to him, and he said that he spoke to Travis Tritt, and Travis Tritt said, lead with other people's stuff, and then come in with your own stuff at the end. Would you agree with that?
I would absolutely agree with that. In fact, I always heard that when I started playing. They said always add other people's songs, like some covers, into your set, and then get their attention by playing that stuff, and then slide one of your originals in there, and then go back, to the covers for a few songs, and then slide another original in. It actually works, especially when nobody knows, who you are, or they're not really, you know what I mean? You're trying to capture them, get their attention and stuff, and so yeah, that's words to live by right there, man.
All right, man. Well, talk about the album promotional wise, so how are you guys getting it out, and how's that going, getting it out there and stuff?
Yeah, the folks we're working with at Dead Horse Marketing and Branding are doing a great job, and then the record label's doing a wonderful job. We kind of talked about the streaming presence or lack of streaming presence, I should say, that we had, or didn't have, I guess, up until our first single on this new record went out in early November, and then our numbers went way up. And man, I mean, there's a lot of truth, man, and promotion. You know what I mean? And just trying to get it out there into new people's ears and stuff, man. It's not easy, but once you're able to do it, it seems like it gets a little easier each time, and just finding every possible outlet to use, and take every opportunity that we possibly can, man. Because especially right now, in a pandemic, nobody does like the radio tours, and everything's virtual, which is cool too, man. But hopefully some of that stuff will come back, man, because that's always a lot of fun. Visiting the different radio stations and all that. Man, it's the promotion is just to try and get and take as many opportunities as we can. You know what I mean? And so it's a lot of fun doing it too, man. I tell you what, it's a fun ride. So
yeah, man. Where can people find the single?
Man, it's on Spotify and all the streaming platforms, and then you can purchase it on iTunes, and then we'll actually have some vinyl and some CDs later this year when the full album comes. And you can always go to stones.com or our Facebook page, and there's info on that stuff there as well.
So you Stone Synod on Twitter and Instagram?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
So are you guys doing any Zoom concerts or anything virtual shows?
You know what? We did one full band electric Zoom concert for a tequila company called Number One Tequila, and that was really cool. But I'm sure we're going to do another one here in the next couple months. But we're actually going back out on the road next month for a few shows down in Daytona for a week down there, and then a couple festivals, small festivals in Texas after that. So hopefully the live thing will, get back on the road will kind of pick it back up here.
Hey, before you go, there was that song that I saw that, that you guys have the most views on YouTube. It's like Whiskey. What was the name of the song? Sorry.
Oh, Whiskey Helps. That was the first single we put out back in November off this new record. And it's just like kind of like a party anthem kind of thing, man. It's good up-tempo. Got some cool slide guitar in it. And it's just talking about how happy hour is, I guess, a little therapy as well,
Yeah, so there's no really, rocket science with it. It's just straight to the grind, huh?
Yeah, man, that was one of the first ones we wrote for it. And it went like that, dude. It was written pretty quick. It's nice up-tempo. Like I said, some cool slide guitar stuff. And it's got three electric guitars packed in there and crunching along, and it's a cool deal, man.
I'm a Jack guy myself, so.
Yeah, well, dude, that's it, man. Hey, have you tried that new peanut butter whiskey called Screwball yet?
No.
You gotta try a shot of it, man. That guy, and now Screwball is mine. Screwball and a beer,
Yeah. All right, Clint. Well, tell the fellas I said thank you, and as I'm scratchy as hell.
That's all good, man. No worries. I appreciate you taking the time.
All right, man. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. You too, Sean. I'll see you soon, bud.
Now that was awesome. Once again, I would like to thank Clint Woolsey of Stone Senate for coming on the podcast today. Before I go, you guys should check out TysonSaner.com. Not only is his link to the YouTube channel that I mentioned earlier in the podcast available on there, but you can find links to the Antisocial Show, Succotash Shut-In, his SoundCloud, and more. So, check his website out. Also, please check us out on Twitter at Cynical Sensibly, Instagram, Sensibly Cynical Pod, and you can check out our Facebook group. Also, if you could be amazing listeners and subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes, it would be absolutely, positively amazing. Thank you for being a listener of Sensibly Cynical. Please stay safe, mask up, and take care.